put my head down. I'm proud of.
Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're diving into a jaw-dropping moment when a notorious Karen finally faced the consequences of her outrageous behavior. Trust us, you won't want to miss how karma delivered a fitting punishment. This is the story of a shocking outburst that went viral, raising questions about Karen's public behavior, intoxication, and the impact of social media. On the evening of June 20th, 2021, at Market Broiler, a popular Southern California eatery, the mood changed abruptly. This is where our story begins, featuring a woman whose actions would soon become a viral phenomenon. The woman at the center of the controversy, Leslie Jank, 39, had been drinking at the restaurant's bar for hours before the situation escalated. The incident unfolded in such a chaotic manner that it quickly attracted the attention of both customers and staff. As Leslie's behavior became increasingly erratic, customers and staff became confused. At first, her outburst seemed to center around the topic of masks. Despite not wearing a mask herself, she harshly criticized others for not wearing one, a paradox that only added to the surreal nature of her criticism. In a strange twist, rather than being angry at herself for not wearing a mask, Leslie became angry at those she felt were not complying with mask wearing regulations. Her rant was not only nonsensical, but also included accusations of racism. This sudden focus on mask compliance, in the context of her disregard for the regulations, added an extra layer of irony to her criticism.
I hope you go on the HP forum. You have to pick it up, huh?
Monday night at the Market Broiler.
The girl that came at me. No, stop it.
And she's only white and Mexican.
Come on.
Work here, no.
No, why don't the girl that just touched me and came at me after you? You had no balls to stand up for your own employees. You're a fucking traitor. What did you do?
The commotion attracted the attention of other diners, some of whom began calling the police. As Leslie's rant continued, the situation at the restaurant became increasingly tense. And according to witnesses, a restaurant manager attempted to intervene by arranging a ride for Leslie, hoping to defuse the situation. However, Leslie refused to leave, and her behavior only became more disruptive. Throughout the ordeal, Leslie's language and actions were described as becoming increasingly hostile. She called a restaurant employee a traitor and demanded to see a customer's vaccination card, a request that added to the absurdity of the scene.
This is weird.
Wow!
The customer's initial reactions of amusement and disbelief gave way to frustration and concern as the situation spiraled out of control. Her tirades and accusations drew laughter from many customers at how absurd it was, making her the laughingstock of the restaurant. This further enraged Leslie.
Make sure she puts a mask on her face! Put a mask on her face!
We're coming at you live from Market Broiler.
She's a mandated worker! She's a mandated worker!
Sorry, just get rid of
She
me.
needs
Just
a-
no one here is getting mad. I know. The cops will be like, thank you.
The scene inside the restaurant dragged on, with Leslie's tirade drawing the attention of everyone present. As the minutes ticked by, the mood shifted from confusion to outright frustration. It was clear that the customers and staff had reached their limits.
She's gonna be arrested! You're gonna be arrested! You're just gonna be You're in jail! You are in arrested! We are? You are!
Yeah, she's going to battery for sure. Can we get some bread?
And eventually Leslie was escorted out of the restaurant, staggering and disoriented. As soon as she left, the restaurant's customers and staff breathed a sigh of relief, grateful that the disruption was over. The doors were closed and the restaurant returned to normal. Although the incident would leave a lasting impression,
Like, if this was a dude, this one would have got slept already.
She's not vaccinated.
I'm pretty sure we all are. Yeah.
What time is it? We're not trying to sleep.
Oh, of course you don't worry about that. No, let's not be worried about that. We're white people.
in the wake of the disturbance, Leslie Jank faced serious legal consequences. According to police records, she was arrested for assault and battery. The fact that she appeared to be intoxicated at the time of her arrest only added to the seriousness of the charges against her. The arrest marked a dramatic end to an evening that began with a simple dinner. For Leslie Jank, it also marked a turning point. Once a regular at Market Brawler, she was unlikely to be welcomed back after such an outburst. According to Section 240 of the California Penal Code, assault is an act that intentionally creates fear in another person that they will be physically harmed. This can happen without actual physical contact with the victim. What matters is the intent of the person committing the act, as well as the fear and anxiety that the act causes the person being attacked. Karen's use of restaurant items such as paper bags and disinfectant spray to attack employees violates this law. The penalty for this law is that Karen faces up to 6 months in jail and a fine of up to $1,000. Under California Penal Code Section 242, battery is an intentional and non-consensual act that involves touching or using force against another person that causes injury or insult. This can include hidden kicking, punching, or other forms of physical contact. The injury must be severe. Even minor injuries such as bruises or scratches can constitute battery if they cause insult or inconvenience to the victim. Karen's act of pushing and hitting the employee falls under this law. And this puts Karen at risk of additional jail time and a fine more than $2,000. Let's look at the second scenario when Karen shows up at your birthday party, but not in a good way. On September 27, 2022, a video is set in a bustling Florida restaurant with groups of diners celebrating special occasions and enjoying their meals. The atmosphere is lively, filled with cheerful chatter and music. However, this happy atmosphere soon changes. The central character in our story appears a woman whom we will call Karen in this video. Karen's frustration becomes apparent as she begins to display increasingly disruptive behavior. Instead of addressing her concerns calmly or speaking to the staff, she chooses a more dramatic approach. Karen was clearly upset and her agitation increased as she witnessed the group having fun. Her displeasure was evident in her body language as she crossed her arms, frowned, and was clearly impatient. Instead of dealing with the situation calmly, Karen's reaction escalated. In a shocking display, she threw drinks at the group, who immediately threw food back at Karen, which resulted in a food fight that caused chaos in the store and attracted the attention of surrounding customers. This angered Karen and she screamed. Karen questioned why the group was not celebrating their birthday at the bar, but at the restaurant, and criticized them for being too noisy. It was clear that Karen was causing trouble for no reason, as there was no law against celebrating birthdays at restaurants. Many customers also spoke up about Karen's unreasonable behavior. The restaurant staff quickly intervened. They immediately asked Karen to stop her behavior and asked her to leave the restaurant. Along with that, the man who was with Karen immediately apologized to the restaurant staff. He offered to pay and the couple quickly left.
Just get it.
Under Florida statutes, Chapter 784.011 defines assault as an act that intentionally causes another person to believe that they are about to be violently attacked or injured. This includes acts that create a reasonable fear that an attack is about to occur. Even though this does not necessarily occur, this does not require that the victim be physically injured by screaming and throwing water at the group of customers. Karen violated this law. The penalty for assault under Florida statutes, Chapter 784.011, is up to 1 year in jail and a fine of up to $1,000. In the final instance, we bring you a disturbing story that has garnered widespread attention. In downtown San Diego, a disturbing incident took place, exposing the raw and painful reality of racial animosity. The video, recorded on June 12, 2022, begins with a confrontation between a white woman and a black man on a street in San Diego, California. The scene is chaotic, with the woman shouting and using racial slurs. The behavior and language used by Karen is jarring, marking a painful reminder of the racial prejudices that continue to exist in our society. In the video, the woman's frustration is evident. She is seen making derogatory remarks and expressing anger, not only towards the man, but seemingly towards an entire race. Her words are laced with hostility as she questions the man's identity and demeans him. The aggression in her voice is unmistakable, and it is clear that her comments are not just directed at the individual, but also at a broader racist perspective.
I don't care.
Hey, please stop calling me that. I'm not putting my head down.
In contrast, the man remains calm and composed. Despite the woman's increasing threats and insults, he responds with calm and restraint. His response underscored the emotional and psychological toll that such confrontations take. It is a powerful display of self-control in the face of hostility and provocation.
What you guys do? What is it that 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 you guys do? I do it to you. Alright, no problem. Please stop following me. Put my head down. I'm proud of it.
The video also captures the reactions of bystanders. Many appear visibly distressed by the woman's behavior, reflecting the general discomfort and disapproval of such racial hostility. The presence of bystanders highlights the broader social impact of the incident, as it serves as a stark reminder of the racial tensions that still exist. The incident captured in this video is a stark example of the racism that many people still experience in their daily lives. The woman's use of racial slurs and her aggressive behavior are not just individual failures, they are reflective of systemic issues that continue to plague our society. Confrontations like these are not isolated incidents, but rather are indicative of the broader, pervasive nature of racial prejudice. In California, simple assault is defined Section 240 of the California Penal Code. This is the law that defines and regulates the crimes associated with simple assault. The law defines simple assault as an act that intentionally causes fear of physical assault or harm without actual physical contact. To be convicted of simple assault, the prosecutor must prove that the defendant intended to cause fear or apprehension in the victim of the possibility of physical assault. Karen's racist and hateful behavior puts her in violation of this law. If convicted, Karen faces up to 6 months in jail and a fine of up to $1,000. That's the final. If you have any stories or experiences about neighborhood conflict and how it was resolved, we would love to hear from you. Share your story and join the conversation. Remember to like and subscribe to be one of the first to receive news.